Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we are going to talk about some of the city's efforts toward preventing youth violence. My guest is the manager of that program, Synethia White. Welcome, Synethia.
Good morning.
This is, as city programs go, you're a fairly new office.
Fairly new, yes.
Tell me about why your position was created and what you do on a day-to-day basis, and then we'll get to the special program that you have in February.
Okay. The city has a little bit of a history in partnering. It initially started in a regional effort to prevent youth violence, and the office was established quite a few years ago, and then some of the resources available changed, and then the office was brought back to the service and surface, and some other things were added a couple of years ago. The desire, our goal is to make Hampton the most livable city in Virginia. And in order to do that, you have to have young people who are able to be successful and feel empowered and supported in making the right decisions.
So one of the programs you run is the Summer Youth Employment Program, and this is growing. You take kids who are mostly high school age, but not exclusively now, right? Because you keep growing the pool of people you're able to serve.
We're definitely making the program more accessible to young people. We have 75 slots that we're able to fill in the summer. We usually do a little bit of overhiring because sometimes young people get jobs that are going to last year round.
And that's what we want, right?
Exactly.
That's a success.
They have to be at least 16 years old by June 1st. And immediately after school ends that Monday, we start working. The first week of the program is a 40-hour work week of soft skill development, preparing them to meet their employers and to be successful in the job and handle things like conflict resolution. If I'm running late, I need to call. If I've got another job, I need to provide notice, or a family vacation, any of those things. We want the employers to have a great year, and we want the students to be successful.
And this started with placing them in the city, but you've grown now into other locations and other employers as well.
It started in the city, but as the number increased, we don't have the slots. We also do our best to find out what the young people are interested in, and there are some students who have interest in doing work that we don't have in local government. So this year we were fortunate to have a few outside employers participate. Dana Epstein at the Grey Goose took 2 students and has hired 1.
That's great.
And was very helpful in the screening process, giving feedback, and has been there to provide information that may help us to engage other employers.
That's good because, food service is a realistic career for a lot of people. The Phoebus Culinary Program really prepares them for a lot of things. So it's good to have all those outside folks participating.
And we look forward to building on that partnership this year because if you have a young person whose interest is culinary arts and they've had some advanced training, and then to be able to match them with a restaurant that's interested, it's a wonderful opportunity. This year we've also been able to connect with Workforce, and they are going to come in when we do our parent orientation and let parents know the other programs that are available that may help their young person get into a program that will help them to be employed year-round.
And that's good. And if parents, a lot of us have more than one kid, and so if you get them plugged into the resources early, it might also help, younger kids or other people in the family, or word of mouth, spread to neighbors and begin to make a difference for a lot of our young folks.
We hope so.
So tell me, and I was there last year, but those people weren't. So tell us about what the urgency of now is. This will be the second year for this.
You're correct. This is the second year for the regional symposium, the urgency of now. Last year, our focus was changing the narrative for Black males from failure to hope, and it brought a lot of attention and awareness to a concern that a lot of people in the community had. We were very, very thankful with the support we received from the community here in Hampton and the volunteer support and the other cities in the region who participated. This year, and because of last year, awareness increased.
Just for a second, where does the term urgency of now come from?
It is a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. About the urgency of now and related to how we don't have time to wait. There's no need to wait.
Which is a whole lot of years after he said that, and we're still
encouraging folks to not
get
wait
involved.
and get involved.
Don't wait,
Right.
get involved, make a difference.
Make a difference.
All of those things that he stood for and spoke for and lived for.
Right. And overarching, not to do anything that villainizes any segment of the population, but we got some data that shows if we were able to do some targeted work with young Black men, that we would be able to change the outcome for a lot of them.
And can you explain that to people? Like, why is our primary focus, not our only focus,
right,
but why is that primary focus on young Black men? What happens?
When we looked in 2013 at the data, 83% of those who were committing crimes and who were victims were Black males between the ages of 15 and 24.
And they are certainly not that percentage of our population.
No.
I mean, that is a way disproportionate effect.
Disproportionate, and we have Black men who are doing well, very
Right.
well.
Doesn't mean they all
It doesn't
are.
mean it is not an inclusive statement.
And they're also disproportionately victims.
Yes,
of crime.
they are. And so the data has not changed much.
That's
We
sad.
brought attention to it last year, actually, and I was in a meeting with our chief of police, and he shared with the group that this year it's 92% as of right now. And so the need is there. The other thing in community mobilization is the folks who care are outside of just Black males. We have to show our community that we support one another regardless of race or where they live or sexual orientation or how much money they make. We care. We all want to be in Hampton together. We want to be safe, and we want to work together in doing that. We have a very rich history of mobilizing and allowing citizens to work in partnership with local government to really make, immediate impacts in some areas. If you think about the neighborhood center development, that was led by the community.
And you were, you're a big part of the YH Thomas. Before you came in this role,
Right.
were very involved in the neighborhood center and the community effort that has made YH so successsul.
Right, but I was fortunate to come in the second wave. The first wave that many of the people now who are elected officials were involved in, our Vice Mayor, Councilman Moffitt, were the people who were there at inception.
You were
And
much
so
too young.
I was much too young. I will say I think I may have been 12, but they knew I was coming. So
That's right.
Building on that work, we've been able to do things, and in that community, you have seen a change for the better in that community. You have young people who are comfortable. You have young people who are thriving. A lot of the young people who come through those programs are professionals here and across the country, and it has made a difference.
And this is a model when government does not try to come in, run things, decide what people need and what people want, and change lives all by ourselves.
Right. We do a whole lot of work listening. Chanel Lewis and Corey Palmer in my department, they attend a lot of meetings. I think we all do. They take a lot of really good notes. And so in the development of this year's urgency, we're using that feedback. We've heard from citizens that they want to know ways that they can get involved. And also we've heard a lot from the faith-based community. How can we get involved? How can we help? And so this year in planning for urgency, we're actually bringing in organizations that we hope to be able to continue to be connected with. We've heard the mayor talk a lot about the cure violence model. Well, there's also a ceasefire model and a hospital emergency room intervention model that the faith community has talked about. So we've actually talked to Anthony Smith, the CEO of Cities United, and he is going to connect us with an organization that brings all four together.
That's great.
Well, those three and one other. And he's going to talk about the 4 proven ways in this room. And we have already started to lay the work to partner with the faith community to develop a trauma response team. A lot of times something bad happens in the community and there's a candlelight vigil, and it's the family and the immediate loved ones who know the person who's a victim. What we would like to do with some outside professional training is to have a group of volunteers who will be able to go and provide resources and information, and if the family would like, stay connected in some way. Because there's often siblings who are left, parents, loved ones who are suffering through that.
Neighbors, cousins. I mean, something like that affects
Yes,
a larger.
there's a
I mean,
ripple.
obviously the biggest effect is on the family, but it spreads out into this ripple in
Yes.
the community, in the neighborhood.
Right. And so we are hoping that that's something. We'll start planning for that in January and continue in February through the urgency of now. Also, here first, where we will be hosting in partnership with the police department, Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services, the Unity Commission. We have Stop and Pop Youth Charities at the table, the neighborhood division, and we are doing during spring break, a large community basketball tournament that we hope, our intent is for that to spur a neighborhood basketball league that will start when school stops and then end when school picks back up.
That's great. Give kids something to do that they want to do. Physical, outdoors, stress reduce, we all should exercise, all that kind of stuff.
And-
but also that sense of community, and then while they're there.
And not led by us. So we
Not
want to,
led by us.
right, we want to provide the structure
But
and do the
spurred
things
part.
that, you have the professional advice of the athletics division and Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services, and what it takes to get officials, and then we use the community outreach. We're hoping that citizens step up to be the coaches, the team moms, check kids in at the community centers. We want to just utilize those spaces actively and give young people places to go. We've recently heard from several young people who said they just need something to do.
So let's talk real briefly then. The urgency of now has a couple of components. Some are more for the groups, the individuals, the government entities working directly with youth, and some are for the youth, and some are for the rest of us who want to help and have no idea how.
Okay, so February 15th, we will be at the Hampton Roads Convention Center starting at 5:30. The first hour until 6:30, we'll have a community dialogue that we've asked the faith community to partner with us, using that opportunity to share with the community at large how they're working together, how they're working in partnership with Hampton and with Newport News.
Because these things cross lines.
Yes.
You can't just think that things change, at Pear Avenue.
Right.
They don't.
Right, and our offices work together. Both assistant city managers for public safety already meet monthly, and so just bringing some awareness, letting people know that we are doing our best to work together. And then our resource fair will open. Last year, the resource fair was really successful.
It was wonderful.
We were hoping to get 20 organizations. They ended up with 38. So this year we have a whole lot more space so that more organizations can get a space. And really quickly, the purpose of the resource fair is twofold. Either there's a young person that you care about and you want to come in there and get resources or bring them and connect them directly.
And you don't have to be the parent. You can
You
be
do
the
not.
grandparent, you can be the neighbor, you can be the Boy Scout leader.
Right.
I saw
Exactly.
a lot of people coming in groups last year.
Yes. And then the other piece is we kind of want you to put your money where your mouth is. You say you're upset and you want to do something. We hope to have enough organization in the room that you can find something that meets your needs, your time, talents, and available time that you may have in your own schedule to get connected and help young people.
So that's the main public part. You will also be doing seminars that will connect people who are already working in this field through courts, through nonprofits, through whatever, school systems, and the faith community, and begin to talk about some of the training and some of the
Yes.
implementing some of those models, our version
yes.
of some of those models.
Right. On the 16th, it's full day. This year, we're excited. We'll have a youth track. So we're having young people come, and they won't have to suffer with old people all day. They will have.
But they talked to us. I mean, they really were interesting when they took the microphone last
Yes,
year.
I think they taught us a lot. They taught us that most young people just really want to be listened to and heard and not told, understanding that there's a line for guidance. But if it's not relevant to talk about what they're wearing that day. Let's talk about what really concerns them, and we'll get some good information and guidance, and I think best steps to move forward. During the day, we are going to have we're going to invite other localities to attend, and as you said, we'll have representatives from school systems, neighborhoods, the faith community, some folks who are doing some work with their own nonprofits. We try to get a really good mix of folks in there because we do want it to go beyond the meeting.
Mm-hmm. Keep the momentum going.
Yes.
All year long. And
Yes.
you are. You've got a lot of programs that go year round. So
Yes, we are trying.
well, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll be there.
Yes.
And thank you for watching. I hope that on February 15th, you will be there. We all need to know that our government is doing its part, but that our government can't do everything. And we need you to step up and volunteer. We need you to bring forth some young people who could be in need of a mentorship or some other program that teaches them something, gives them something to do, provides positive models for them. So please make it a point to show up and make that commitment if you're able. Thanks for watching.